just made it. And then good morning, good morning. Okay, you can see what's going on. It's a sizing day. Good morning, good morning. More sizing, which means the printers are demanding more paper. The prints are flying out of this place. Okay, it's cooked already. I've got to get it in here. One day, hey, this will be the part where I trip and spill it. Okay, that's 2 liters of fresh stuff, just cooked. And I'm gonna mix in with it stuff we had left over from, what was it, 2 days ago, 3 days ago? It's been in the freezer. And the mix today, we're in our spring mix of 50 grams of glue per liter. Mix. Okay. Now, first one up on the larger brush. Okay, what's happening today? It's sizing, of course. There's 2 batches of paper today. One batch is from the larger Takinaga size. This is half of it. I've cut it in half. Almost half. Let's talk about that in a second. I've cut it in half. It's a big sheet of paper. These are the most expensive sheets that we get. And it's going to make ukiyo hero spreads. There'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 ukiyo hero sprints, and this is going to be Shadow of the Colossus, A Young Man Shakes Heaven. And that's Suga-san's next printing batch, because we're out of that one again. Then the next paper batch after that will be 60 sheets for the next group of Great Waves. So white paper, which a few weeks from now will be of more Great Wave prints. Okay, one more thing to mention, I keep forgetting about this, what we've got building up here. I think Cameron has talked about this online now and then. What we've got here, do you see this? What it is those larger sheets I got. These ones, the Takinaga sheets. There's enough for 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Heroes prints, plus a little strip at the end of each one. And the strips for us actually aren't wide enough. We have a bunch of postcard prints. And if it was just a bit wider, 2 centimeters wider, we could make some of our postcard size prints on these, but it's not wide enough. It's not wide enough for our double chibis. So we're building up bit by bit by bit, a whole bunch of this paper, which is beautiful, beautiful. Iwano-san, living national treasure paper, nicely made. and it's sitting here. We don't want to throw it away. So I've told Cameron to start finding a page on the website for two things. We sometimes get the offcuts that are really, really small. They're just too small for anything, and I don't want to think of those as articles of commerce. So he's been giving those away. He's been asking people, pay us for the postage and we'll send you a batch of these small offcut strips. But these are too big. These could become prints. So I think what I'm going to ask him to do is pieces like this that are large enough to be actually commercially usable. I'm going to ask him to put them on the website somewhere, priced the same way that we pay for the paper per square centimeter. The bills that come to us from the paper maker depend on the size of the paper. It's the same unit price per square centimeter. So I'm going to tell him to make a page where we can pass this on to people and simply we'll recover our cost. You pay us whatever we paid the paper maker for these. So he'll make a web page for that soon. The small little scraps, the ones that are really offcuts, I can't worry about money for those. Okay, here we go. What have I got? I got a small amount. This is only, I forgot how many there are here. The first part here will be over in just a couple of minutes. It's 14 sheets. That one is 60 sheets. So I'll do this batch first and then hang it and come back and do the others. I forgot my non-slip. Green tape somewhere. Okay, I think I've already answered this, but what prints are these being sized for? The first batch, the larger ones, this is a batch of Ukiyo-e Heroes. It's Suga-san's next printing run. It's the print Jed calls A Young Man Shakes Heaven. It's Shadow of the Colossus. Then after this is done, the second batch is for another group of Great Waves. Someone's asking me to remember to cover the computer. I can't really do that. I got in trouble last time because it covers the vents and the thing overheats. Can we try it if I'm more careful about this? If I do this, if I stand it up, I don't want to muck with this cable. Computer elevated. Okay, where we go? All right. I think we need to get going. Check the temperature, 60. Sa. Touched down a bit too heavily. Can you see it even from where you are? There's a darker shadow here. Too much pigment, too much liquid there. I need a dosa coach, a sizing coach. Someone to stand back and watch me and tell me about the angles. I think I'm angling this too much this way and it hits that corner too strong, but I can't see it myself. I should go and review the video later. Video replay. That's better. Is that a difference? Am I doing the angle? I can't tell now. I keep kicking the camera, sorry. I should have some software that runs looking at this video, checking the angle of the brush and giving me a red alert when the angle is too tight. You want some more earthquake? Looking good. I got this. It's okay. I'm on this. Had a good peaceful day in the shop yesterday. It was busy, lots of people to talk to, but it wasn't stressful. We're coming down after our spring peak. And the Saksa is a bit quiet this week because the next weekend is the giant festival, so the crowds are a bit lower this week. I need a swing coach, right? Well, that's what I was doing last time. You know, you saw Shiba-san on here. It was a couple of weeks back. She was doing her sizing. I basically stood back and I acted as her swing coach. You know. SpaceX, and that stuff is so much fun, you know. Back when I was a kid, you know, teenager, whatever, 1950s, early 1960s, you know, we had science fiction books showing astronauts jetting around the solar system when they all landed and stuff, you know. We never really got to see that in real life, but now it's finally happening. Spaceships are landing. It's insane for someone like me who grew up with those books. This morning I moved the microphone a little bit away. It's farther down here, trying to get it away from the automated sizing robot. We're trying to build on ourselves, you know. We'll get there bit by bit. It's a little bit on hold right now because we've got so many other projects going on. But we're well on the way to building a better sizing procedure. Better in the sense of more controllable. So John's asking, you know, what about our sizing machine? I know it wasn't so much the problem with the sizing machine. The problem, we had simultaneous things going on at the same time. The paper was really, I don't know, what's the word? It had huge variations in it. So we had too many variations happening at the same time. The paper had a huge amount of variability. I was working, Aoyama was working. We were doing some by this, we were doing some by the new machine. The new machine wasn't set yet, how tight the roller should be, how loose the roller should be. There were too many variations and we lost too many batches of paper. We sent, for example, for that Dragon's gift print, we sent a batch of paper to Kubota-san. They were all destroyed because the sizing wasn't good. So what we've done at the moment, just to try and reduce the variability and get back to a controlled situation, we've put the new sizing machine on hold for a while. And Aoyama-san's out of here. He's working on the shop downstairs. So just we've reduced the variability. It's a one-man job with no machine, back to the brush, to get ourselves back in a more stable situation. And then we'll start experimenting again with the sizing. We just lost too much paper. It's like trying to build a train station while commuters come through. We have to keep a steady supply of good sized paper for our printers. At the same time, we're experimenting and building a new system. It would be cool to have an experimental room where you could do the sizing and testing with stuff that wasn't part of your normal production. But we just don't have the capability to do that. That would really be so cool, an experimental room here. But we're just struggling to keep producing. Skunk Works, yeah, right. I think the concept of Skunk Works is a little bit different than an actual product engineering development lab, And what I was talking about then was just sort of a development lab. You've got new projects coming up and you experiment and develop them. I think a Skunk Works is a different concept. It's something where there's a far out project that has nothing to do with your normal business. It's, what do you call it? A Hail Mary sort of thing where you're working on something completely different from your normal business. Almost certainly doomed to fail, but maybe it will survive. Oh, there's the front half of the 17. Got to flip it over. What did I say? How many sheets? 14. 7 plus 7. 7 sheets cut in half to make 14. Again, you notice how we flip. We flip this way, not this way. So what's going to happen as I do the back side now? I'm going to hit each sheet starting at the tail of where I hit before. This tries to level out the moisture. How many conversations going on here? Computer overheating? Seems not. Seems okay. Okay, now backside. Now backside, because the paper's quite wet already, I need less liquid here. So after I dip, I don't know if you saw what I was doing before. I dipped. I usually wiped off once, twice. I'm going to wipe off 3 times. Try and reduce the amount of moisture. And also I'm going to keep a lighter touch here. I'm not pressing it down quite as heavily. light in the middle there. Do you think you'll ever make a video giving a tour of your shop? Sure, it's something that's on our little list of things to do. It's not going to happen right now, of course, because the first floor is not ready yet. But once the first floor is ready, makes sense to do that. But then again, once the first floor is ready, we still have to do the renovation of the second floor for the new venture. So I'm not quite sure if a tour is on the works yet. Got a bit of junk, something floating in the sides here. Get my guppy scoop. Sometimes the brush, when it's coming off the end of the paper, it picks up some fibers off the end of the paper, drops them back in. So we get clumps of fiber here sometimes. Seems okay. No, this is not water, this is a glue mixture. We're what we call sizing the paper, putting a glue mixture on it to make the paper strong enough to use for printmaking. Raw paper by itself is too soft, and we need to toughen it up by putting a glue coating into it on both sides. I don't think it's starch, it's a collagen type stuff. It's like a gelatin glue. It's made from skin and bones and cartilage of animals. It's a necessary part of our job before we can start printing. We have a calendar in our manager software system. The staff accesses the calendar. And whenever they can see their future. They know the job they're doing now. And it's never clear how long it's going to take. The job that Suga-san's doing now might take 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Depends how much time she works. These printers all work on their own schedule. So I never know when they're going to need their next paper. So we have a calendar on our manager page that the staff accesses when they can see, okay, I think I'll need my next paper by next Monday or Tuesday or whatever. Once they can clearly see that, they go to the calendar and they put a star on the calendar. And I meet with them, I talk to them about what kind of job are we going to do next. So in the case of Suga-san, Monday morning she needs this paper because she wants to moisten it for her next printing batch. She'll still be printing on Monday the previous job, but she'll need to moisten this paper. So we have a calendar system to keep me and the printers in sync. And when I see lots of the upcoming jobs getting closer, I have to do this sizing. So sometimes they forget or something, they'll put a star in there and it'll be for tomorrow. So I'll get up in the morning and I'll see a star on the calendar like they need the paper right now. They can't do that. I mean, we're always having a bit of back and forth. Guys, give me as much advance warning as you can. But they can't because they don't know their own schedule sometimes. But here's the last sheet in this first batch. What we'll do then is, I can't hang it right now. It's got to set 15, 20, 25 minutes or so. If we let it set too long before hanging, the sheets will start to stick together at the edges. That's it for the big brush today, the next paper. So I'm going to put it in water. We have water in the second side here. So the brush can sit there, soak out. Okay, you sit for 15, 20, 25 minutes. Can you guys give me a jog about the time, maybe? I don't know. This is now 30 sheets cut in half to make 60. So this is now going to take 120 passes, 60 on the front and 60 on the back. I hope I can get it done in time because I have a print party to run at 10, I think. I'm not quite sure. Okay, here we go. Base here. First sheet. So. These are going to become great wave prints. What time is it in Tokyo? It's 8:30 in the morning, Sunday morning. Okay. Bit hard, left over being washed. Last time I should have soaked this first. I've got to sit for a minute. I should have put that in before I got the paper in. Alright, so what we'll do is this. I'll run the first cover, about 30 sheets. I'll do the front side of these, then flip it over ready. And then I won't be able to ignore that other paper, so I'll have to take a break for a minute in the other room to hang up the 7 pairs. That'll take me 2 or 3 minutes. Then I'll come back here. See yourself on the laptop. Yeah, great. Okay, let's do this thing. Let's get going. I never seem to stop. It's my job. I don't know. What can I say? Now, this paper is much thinner than the paper I just used, so I have to keep less moisture in the brush. And probably I'm going to have a bit too much moisture here. Let's see how it goes. So you have to move faster. So again, too much in that corner. Always I hit too much in that corner. You can see it from where you are, right? Right there. Too much moisture there. How's the share certificate coming? Yeah, it's almost finished. I was working on it last night. So the carving is almost done. Well, within like 10 minutes of finishing. Then the next step is to do the test printing. And test printing means all over the place. Kinko's, we've got to get our PDF format worked out. We have trouble with the glyphs. If anybody has any hints about that, we're using a Zapfino font. It's got some really curlicue glyphs. And when I save the file out as a PDF and try and print it out, the glyph parts appear in a different color. The parts that are extending above the normal height of the character don't appear black, they appear white. I don't know what to do about that. We may have to flatten all the fonts. Now it's a font rendering issue, I guess, in a PDF. So it's simple. We'll flatten it out as a TIFF file before we print it. So. My work schedule, I'm okay. It's okay. I go to bed around 10:30, something like that. Get up 5:36. Get busy. So I have a peaceful. I get good 8 hours of good sleep. I eat well. Don't have any stress. I'm set. Don't worry about me. I don't sleep under my carving bench, I sleep under the print party bench downstairs. Oh, too much. Talking too much. Look at that. Dumped way too much liquid. Can you see it? Does it show as a shadow? Here in Japan, we sleep on the trains, right? Isn't that the national pastime? Yeah, that's the thing. I'll sleep when I'm 6 feet under. It's okay. Well, spray painting, you can't start here. I get the idea. I get a problem here. I can't just start here and go because, of course, too much comes out. So the idea is that we're trying to land this thing as an airplane. But if I hit it too low and I hit that edge, a huge amount of liquid pours out. So I've got to try and start before it, but land without hitting too hard. It's not trivial, actually. It's not simple. Because it's a stack. If each sheet was just one sheet lying on a base, I could start. If it was just one sheet of paper, I could start here and run over it. But once it becomes a stack, I can't do that. And I tried that earlier when I was learning how to do sizing. I did a double system. I had the stack and then I had the place. And I put plastic sheets so I could put it at the end. So I could start here. I started here and rolled and came over the sheet. And it was really nice. But then you got to pick up the wet sheet and move it over to the stack. And that's where you get in trouble. So yeah, we've been thinking about this. We've been trying to think about this, how to avoid the hit at the beginning problem. This is part of our system, our reason that we're trying to switch to a machine for this, a dipping machine. We're aware of the difficulty of making these strokes perfectly smooth and perfectly even. That's why we're trying to semi-automate this. This is the most difficult part right here. Landing this damn thing. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Talking about making noises, when I was working with Shiba-san a couple weeks, we tried to get her to sing something. Sing a little mental song in your mind. Do, 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 you know, whatever. Sing something so that you got the rhythm right, and then you could land and keep moving just at the right pace. And I think that's actually a good idea. I'm not doing it myself in my head now, but the best way to do this would be perhaps to have some sort of rhythmic thing moving in your mind to help you get this exactly right. Bit of a defective sheet there, I don't know if you can see it. We've creased it, so. We just run it through at this point. What we'll do is at the end of the day, we pull those out. The printer needs a few test sheets anyway. You can never start printing with sheet number 1 and make it perfect. You've got to have a few test sheets to get things worked out. It's common sense. Before the printer starts, he looks through the batch of paper to see some that might have glitches or whatever, and he chooses those for his tests. Yes, of course, the liquid smooth out. That's what's happening at the moment with the batch I did a few minutes ago. The water is just leveling out before I hang it up, of course. I would like to leave it longer so that the water smooths out even more, but the problem is because this is glue, if we leave it too long, of course, we get a problem. It sticks together. So. Hungry. I didn't get breakfast yet this morning. It was just too much on the plate before starting all this. The days when I have to move the camera setup. Yesterday's stream was downstairs, so today's stream is upstairs. So it's not trivial. The camera, the tripod, and that damn video interface we're using, the Blackmagic thing. It's so touchy and sensitive, and you move it and that's it, we're dead. So it took me again 15-20 minutes to get it started this morning. If I just turn it off and I'll use it tomorrow in the same place, it's okay, but I'm going to move it downstairs and it doesn't like that. "12 minutes since the other ones are done." I know, but I can't stop in the middle of this. So as I said, I'm going to try and push this and get this first 30 sheets done here, so that this can sit for the half while I hang that. We're going to push this a little tight here. So I should perhaps up the pace here, move along a bit more quickly here. If Cameron was here today, he could talk to you for a minute while I'm going to do that. Well, actually, it wouldn't help because it's the stack that needs the timing. Yeah, no, thanks for the reminder. Absolutely. I forget stuff, absolutely. Did I drink? Of course. I've had a whole thing I had a cup of coffee in the morning and now I've had some water. I'm okay. The health checkup I had last year, what is it now, about 6 months ago or something? I can't remember health checkup I had. The doc is all over me. You got to drink more, you got to drink more, you got to drink more, you know. And I don't like walking around with this. You know, you see people walking around town with a liter of water, clutching it and drinking and stuff. I really don't like doing that. But the guy clearly said, you got to drink more, you got to drink more, you got to drink more. I'm not sure how much of this is cultural and how much is actually biologically, medically sound advice. I don't know. The culture these days is all drink non-stop all day water, you know. And whatever, you can't argue with the doctors when they tell you stuff, you know, but whatever. Hey, was that the first time I've ever had water on the stream? I don't know. Usually the streams, they're 8 o'clock stream, you know. I got up at 6 or so, 5:30 or 6. I get a quick cup of coffee in the morning, a light cup of light coffee. Then I have that breakfast. So usually by the time I'm here on the stream at 8 o'clock, you know, I'm satisfied. I've had my breakfast, I've had a drink. So I don't drink much, whatever, on the stream, drink or eat much. I wouldn't do that for cultural reasons. I think it's impolite. God, I would never eat on this stream. I can't imagine that. 7 cups of water a day, Dave. I don't know, I'm a bit nervous about hanging that stuff, you know. Okay, it still seems all right. We were talking yesterday about the upcoming festival next weekend. And I thought about this, you know, my own work is going to be disrupted, so we could either shut off streams and stuff like that. We talked about how we might be able to do some kind of special festival streaming. And I've been thinking about it, so I got on Amazon last night. I tried to find some longer cables. The idea being that if I put the camera out on the balcony out there, pointing a bit down towards the street, we could maybe just do a Twitch stuff, just turn it on and forget it. You know, I can't sit here and do commentary, but if we at least can stream some of the actual festival activity itself. So I tried to find some longer cables. And what we've got here, we've got a video camera which plugs into through HDMI cable. There's a video camera with an HDMI plugged into the video interface. And the video interface plugs into my laptop through Thunderbolt. So the first idea was to put the camera and video interface outside on a tripod out on the stand outside, and then run a longer Thunderbolt cable into my Mac inside. I don't know, there's a Mac outside, obviously. But I learned that Thunderbolt cables, you're looking at 3 meters max before you get a degradation, or maybe they don't even make them. I couldn't even find one. So that doesn't seem like it's a good idea. So the other plan would be to bring the video interface inside, leave it with the Mac, and run a longer HDMI cable from the camera to the video interface. I went to sleep before I started investigating that. So is it possible to run a longer HDMI cable? Or does that max out at like 1 meter or something, 2 meters before the signal drops out? What I need is a cable. It's got a tiny HDMI output from the video camera, and then it's got that big fat HDMI thing that plugs into the video interface. So if I can get a 3 or 4 meter cable of that size, then we can do that. I can put the Mac indoors in the printer's room, put the video camera outside. But I'm not sure of the cable length on HDMI stuff, so I'll try ordering that today if I can find one. Someone says HDMI can run 10 meters. If that's the case, then we're good to go. But is that HDMI from this little small tiny plug up to the bigger one? Powered Thunderbolt hub, another piece of hardware. My God, I don't know about that idea. I'm already having such trouble with this video signal. I doubt I want to get more hardware in between. I'm not sure. Okay, if it looks like it's okay, then I'll try that. I'll get a longer HDMI cable. All right, I'll experiment with that over the next few days, and if we can get this worked out, then what I'll do is I'll put the camera on a tripod on the second floor balcony, angled down into the street. And just turn the damn thing on, and Twitch can take care of itself, I think, you know. The action will be happening Friday. Nothing's going on. It's Saturday and Sunday. And from Saturday, just before noon, Japan time, is when this street starts to get busy with shrines and stuff like that. So Saturday from noon up until nightfall, it'll be going on. And then Sunday, pretty much all day Sunday. These are Japan times. Maybe I'll get Cameron to sort something out and post on the Facebook page a schedule or something. I gotta get moving now. This paper behind me is getting dry. Not dry, but it's getting... Seems okay. It's not sticking yet. I think we're okay. I can finish this, I think. Yeah. I'm checking. Too many names. Yes, the machine, it's a hotel food warmer. It's meant to keep soup warm at a smorgasbord setup. It's got hot water in the bottom of the tank, and then there's 2 trays. I've got hot water here for cleaning brushes and glue mix in this one. Yeah, it's a hotel food warmer. Luckily, my workshop here in Asakusa is within a 3 or 4 minute walk of the food service district, the Kappabashi Street, where people go to buy knives and stuff. And we were able to browse a selection of food warmers and pick the one that seemed good for us. if you're in a 7-Eleven here or a convenience store and you buy some Oden, this is what they have on the bench. They've got the water in the bottom, then up top they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 compartments. We bought the one that had 2 compartments. You can buy 4, 8, any number of different sizes that you want. $20 meters is tough. We have no reason for not getting 20 meters, and all 5 or something will be more than enough. I just got to keep the computer indoors and the video camera on the balcony outside. So maybe I'll go with a 5 meter. That's okay. The roof is too far away. There's a couple of problems with the roof. There's no balcony there, and I can't get out to get a good view of the street. When we're on the roof, if we're up there sort of leaning out and over, we can look straight down. But it's just like looking at the ants. It's no point. The second floor balcony absolutely is the best place. I know the second floor balcony used to have trouble because we had the big barren sign blocking the view out of the window. But now that's gone. The sign has been lowered down. So from our party room balcony, we can now see clearly out onto the street. So I'll just put the camera in the party room balcony, and that means it'll be close enough. We can keep tabs on it, keep an eye on what's going on. Fireworks, I don't know. We've tried videoing the fireworks and it just has such focus problems. These cameras are all on autofocus and stuff. And it's just a blur. Well, if I had a better camera, on my main Canon camera, I can turn off the autofocus. But what we can't turn off, or I haven't found a way to turn off, is the light balancing thing. or whatever, long explanation. When I try and use it for my own videos, I set it up and get the light balance set up and everything else with me not in the chair. Then when I turn it on, I go sit in the chair because the view is now different. It does different auto this and auto that. And the focus can be manual, but I haven't found a way to turn off that light adjustment thing. So it keeps switching darker, lighter, darker, lighter. You can see it in my videos even. When I pick up a piece of paper and hold it all of a sudden, the white piece of paper changes the camera setting. I know there's a reason that pros use pro equipment, obviously. Okay, I've got to get this done here. About 5 or 6 sheets left before I go and hang up that other stack. John, next time you're here, remind me about this and let's wrestle with it. You know much more about this than I do. So if you're over here in the fall, you said you were coming, jog me, we'll take a look at my camera and you can show me some stuff. Yeah, the camera's an EOS. It's an EOS, I forget the number. It's KISS something, X6 or whatever. I forget the model number. Yeah, the other stack, I know, I've got 3 sheets left here. I am blazing through this to try and get this done before the other stack sticks together. 2 sheets left. Okay, what's going to happen now is this. I'm going to disappear from your site for about 5 minutes or so while I hang up that other stack. There's 14 sheets there and they hang in pairs. So I've got 7, not too much there, Dave. Focus. Okay, this brush goes in the hot water. I can't leave it in the glue. Cover up the glue. Okay, cover this with my piece of plastic here. Okay, I'll swivel the camera around, but I don't think it's much good. I don't think it does anything here. What we're going to do is this. For those of you who don't know, I haven't seen this before. I'm now going to go into the next room to hang up that other stack. And the camera is not going to cooperate, but whatever. I'll push it through here like this. And I will be back in about 5 minutes. Don't forget to take cover off the laptop. Hi, don't forget your stack. Okay, here we go. Back in a couple of minutes. No idea what will happen to the focus. That are set up somewhere around here. Okay, and we're still here. No idea. Thank you, guys. Sorry about the I hear a question. Twitch questions. Yes, there's a question in the box here. Someone's asking, you know about the printing parties, but do you have carving workshops? We don't at all. I have that goal of going to Japan to learn from the carver who introduced me to woodblock printing. I'm not sure. Do you mean me? I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry. We don't teach. We have no setup for classes here. Teaching has nothing to do with carving. There's two answers for you. There is a friend of mine, Asuka Motoharu, Japanese guy, who is teaching here. I'll put in his website address. It's something like this, http takumihanga.com. That's his Japanese website, but there's a link for English. He has an English button there. And he is teaching here in Tokyo. He'll do 1-day class, 3-day class, 1 week, 6 months, whatever. We'll learn from him. He doesn't speak English. So what he does have, though, is he's got some bilingual students. And I think his bilingual day, I'm not quite sure on this, you have to check with the website. I think Wednesday is his bilingual day, where foreign guests come on Wednesday and his English students are always there. Anyway, long story short, that's the guy. Asuka Sensei is the guy to talk to if you want carving advice here in Tokyo. The other option is if you're going to Kyoto, there's a there's a guy in Kyoto, Richard Steiner, he's older than me, who does teach. He doesn't teach using the totally old traditional methods. He's using more modern stuff. He uses plywood and stuff for his prints. But he's personable and wants to talk about it. He teaches. And to find him, I don't know the name of his website offhand, but if you Google for Richard Steiner printmaking in Kyoto, his website comes up. See, we spoiled this sheet. I don't know if you saw it. It's torn. That one stuck to the plastic on that. We left it a bit too long before flipping it. So this sheet, number one sheet in the stack, it's lost part of its mulberry fiber. So whatever, can't be helped. Try and do too much at once. As I said before, anyway, the printers need test sheets for their jobs. And it happens at every stage, we don't see it. When a paper maker is making his sheets of paper, he rocks and dips and rocks and dips, and probably he loses, I don't know what percent, he loses X percent of the sheets. Something goes wrong, something's, whatever. Then at every stage we lose some, At the sizing stage I might lose 1 sheet or 2 sheets, Then at the printing stage they'll do testing, they'll lose 1 sheet or 2 sheets or whatever. So at every stage we lose some. That's how production works. I don't know how Toyota works. At every stage they lose some of their cars. I don't know. Okay, let's roll. Now we probably may not have time. It's 9:15 already. So probably we're not going to see the end of this. I'm going to cover the back side of this and then go and hang it, but there's no way. Hanging will take 15, 20, half an hour. So what I'll do is I'll just run this to time. I'll run to about 9:30 here and then sign off and finish this by myself. I'm going to have to rush part of it too because there's a print party at 10. Let's confirm this actually because I think it's a print party for level 2 customers. Excuse me a minute here while I mess around with the computer here. Log into the manager page. Don't read my top secret login here, please. Today's the 13th. Yes, they're repeaters, so it's level 2 print party, so I have to be the host. The other staff can't quite do that yet, so. Okay, Jaga Boogie here. Then I'll do this for about, I don't know, it's 9:17 now. I'll run to 9:30. Then I'll leave you on your own. I mean, no, I'll sign off. And okay, let's go. What, Richard's on a European tour? You got his website. They're good. Thank you for linking. Good. Richard's in Europe? I don't think so. I got an email from him last night. Oh, you're talking about Asuka Sensei? I think he's back. I think his website may say off in Europe, but I also think he's back. I think he was supposed to be back this weekend. He's working on Monday. Okay, Jan, maybe I'm a week off then. Okay, sorry about that. Just ignore me if I don't. I hear the distant doorbell down there, 9:20. It's a bit early for the staff. My guess is it might be Ishikawa-san. She's coming to print some of the subscription prints. She works mostly on weekends rather than weekdays. That's her choice. I remember I got her paper out of the freezer, even though she forgot to put her sticker on the fridge door. I don't know, up and down the stairs. Maybe it's Kawai-san getting the shop ready. Don't know. We'll see. There'll be 3 people in today. Kawai-san and Nakamura-san are going to run the shop today. And Ishikawa-san will be upstairs printing. Yeah, the repeated bells. It must be Kawai-san getting the stairway ready. A bit too much there. Pooling just a bit. Can you see it? Probably not. Pooling a little bit in that corner. I've got to be careful. That's my weak point. That's my Achilles heel. Absolutely, that corner. I'm not sure why. It's the angle or a touchdown too hard or the wiping off. I need a swing coach here. Look, I knock off some extra parts of that corner just so this is a bit lighter, but it still doesn't help. That was okay. What's this? Good morning, Dave. How you doing? You're a bit late. Okay. I'm nearly going to check out in a few minutes here. How are we doing? We're busy. We're busy. We're busy. We're busy. Busier than ever. It's so much fun. It's a good thing the microphone isn't at my normal position. When we're carving, the mic is right in front of me. Now it's down here somewhere. You can't hear my stomach rumbling. It's good. The noise from the heater is drowning it out, maybe. Who knows? Yeah. We've had some good fun parties this week. That one with Noel and Sam on Thursday was just great fun. Friday morning, it was good fun. I feel a bit funny that there was two people I knew were in the party and then two people who were just new to us, and they're like, what have they stumbled into? You know, they signed up for a little printmaking workshop, and instead they're in the middle of all this chaotic fooling around and laughing, and they had fun. It was okay. Speaking about owls, did you see the strange story? Oh, I can't link to it. I didn't think. It's in my news feed this morning. Something about Sweden. I don't know. It was a really strange story. I don't know. Sweden apparently is one of those countries that's early on in the switching to the cashless society. So the story told about how there's so few bank robberies in Sweden anymore. Banks don't have cash. People can't use cash, so bank robberies are down. And it said owl robberies are up. I can't tell you the story because I didn't read it that carefully. But it's in the news this morning. If you Google for something like owl robbery Sweden or something, rare owls have become some kind of target for robberies in Sweden because there's no more cash available in the banks. Something like that. Yeah, it sounds like a joke story, but it actually was a real thing. It's interesting. We have this idea that as we move to a cashless society, crime may decrease, right? There's less opportunities for stealing cash and stuff. It turns out, based on the Swedish experience, that it's the other way around. The different types of crime are increasing because there's no more cash. So people who are going to steal something are looking for alternatives. I just scanned it while I was reading my coffee, so I don't, somebody's linked to it. Good, okay, or something. Yeah, watch the time, watch the time, watch the time. My time is set. I'm just going to keep... I'll just run to the bottom of this stack. Since the stream chaos at start yesterday, we're having a smooth stream at this end. Was there chaos yesterday? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't remember what... Oh, yeah. My Twitch and all that stuff. Yeah, so I've already forgotten about that. I'm beginning to suspect actually that thing that happened yesterday, there might have been something at this end, because Google Chrome has been treating me strangely all day long yesterday. I even tried to log into my own manager page and that login was rejected. So basically maybe Google did something wrong. All the logins and passwords and things that Google had been storing were being rejected by the servers at the other end. Even my own website, the Google login that was stored in my Google Chrome was rejected. So I think Google Chrome my version of Google Chrome corrupted something yesterday. And the reason Twitch kicked me out was not because of something that had changed at Twitch's end, but I think something in Google Chrome had changed. At least that's based on my experience yesterday. During the rest of the day after the stream was closed, everything was gone. Even logins to my own website with my own passwords. So when I was blaming Twitch, that may have been a bit too what's the word? I may have been too hasty in doing that, I'm sorry. But I've had to reset everything. All the logins, all the passwords, everything. Google somehow corrupted them. It seemed here I'm blaming somebody else, whatever. They became corrupted somehow, whatever. So the problem yesterday, when I tried to log into Twitch, my username and password was not recognized, even though it was the password that was stored in Google Chrome. And when I tried retyping it manually, it wouldn't be accepted either. So I had to reset my Twitch password yesterday. And as resetting the password, you have to reset your stream key. Anyway, whatever. It seems to have been all cleared up now. Just I was a bit hasty in blaming the Twitch end of it. But based on the evidence I had, that's what seemed to be the problem. So whatever. I don't use notes cards for my passwords. My passwords are in here. I have what I think is a pretty good system for it. I don't want to describe it too carefully because you don't do that when you're talking in public. But I never reuse passwords. Every password for every website is different. I don't have any duplicated passwords. And I remember them all. I don't write them down. I remember them all. And what I do is I have a system. I have a mental algorithm for creating passwords based on the name of the website. And that's about as much as I'm going to say to describe it, because I don't want people trying to fool around trying to figure them out. It's too complex to figure out. But the concept is simple. If I'm trying to log into whatever, Twitch, how am I going to remember which password it was? XYZ654-26, whatever. You can't remember those things. So I have a way for creating 3 or 4 different levels of passwords based on the name of the website. It's a mental algorithm that I use. For example, this is not it, but example. Suppose it was just the name of the website typed backwards. I'm logging into Twitch, it's TWITCH spelled backwards. Of course, that's not it. But it's an algorithm that starts with that kind of a thing, a manipulation of the word, then adding the characters that needed to be added to make a password more secure. And it's an algorithm that's simple enough that I can do it mentally, that when I forget the password, I can sit there and think, okay, how do I do this? Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. And my password comes out. And you have to have more than one of these things in your brain, because quite often, I don't know quite often, but sometimes, for example, my own web host here, my ISP, kicks me out after 3 months. It says, please change your password. So, okay, I had password A and password B for this website. I changed to password B based on a little edit of that algorithm that I had. 3 months later, it says, change your password. So if I'm a real smart guy, I'll go back and use the first version. It says, not allowed to use passwords you've used before. So my algorithm has to be strong enough that I can keep creating every 3 months a new password for this website and yet still allow me to remember how I did it. So it's not trivial, but it means I don't need to keep notes. It also means I can have backup. My daughter knows this algorithm, and now Cameron, who's the trusted guy on here, he knows this algorithm as well. So he knows how to get into all of our websites, all of our logins, without writing notes, without writing it down. That password remembering technique of mine came in handy yesterday, actually. I went to the British Museum website. We're looking at, they've got a bunch of high resolution images stored there. I wanted to download one of them for use we're getting a new print ready for our catalog, nothing to do with Jed's work. And the British Museum has a service where you log in, open an account, and they will send you high resolution images of some of the stuff that's in their catalog. So I've been searching for this image and it came up last night in a Google image search, and there it is in the British Museum's website. So I tried to download it. It says, please log in. And it's been easily more than 10 years since I've logged in to that place. So now you got that situation. How do you remember your password? But I actually did it yesterday. It was fine. It took me 2 tries because my algorithm, as I said, distorts based on if you're not allowed to reuse the same password. And I did it after more than 10 years of not logging into that specific website. I was able to sit down at their interface, and in 2 tries, I was able to get in. I can't remember the passwords, but I can remember my algorithm. So I thought that was pretty cool. 10 years, more than 10 years. So I don't know, there may be